What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In the last video, you've seen us paint the engine bay on the R32 and that thing just looks so good, looks great. But as you can see now, we have this empty lift and we ain't got no engines. We ain't got no engines to put in the engine bay of the 32. So we have my red 32, the rusty boy, and we're actually getting ready to back this thing in here right now, put it on the lift while that stuff is kind of drying, curing, we're ordering, gathering parts. We need to get the engine and transmission out of here so that way we can start cleaning things up with this thing. That way we can get it ready to put in the R32. Let's pull this thing in. Nice rig, right? Sounds like a Honda. It doesn't have much. I mean, it's got great bones. It's got good foam. It ain't much, but it's got good foam. Look at that. It's got a hood prop. Yeah, it's got the Bluetooth exhaust. It's got everything. So the car is in here. We have a quick appointment over at Wiring Specialties to go see if they have a harness in stock. Tommy wants to go like right now, so we gotta go. Said, oh no, Monica is what he said. Cruising with Tommy in what's this? Golf R.
Race him off the exit.
Like just keep going slow. And then pass him on the on ramp.
Get back on, that'd be sick.
So we are headed to Wiring Specialties real quick with Tommy. He's got to pick up some customer stuff, some fuel pump hardwire kits that you guys make in-house that are like plug and play?
Yeah.
Or you gonna make them? Or you have?
We make them for customers, we don't like sell them.
We're gonna grab a wiring harness for my car and talk to the Wiring Specialties guys. I've worked with them a lot in the past on all my, like my Supra, my 240.
You can't swap a car without Wiring Specialties.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
Like
so Yuri's like a gangster. Like back in the day, he was like in his garage, the owner of Wiring Specialties, and like you would send him your harnesses like from your shitty import motor. You know, you get an SRs all cut up, and you'd send him your KA one, and he would sit there and like in his garage build them. Then he built like the most important business in the swap game and has no competition because no one can hang with that, as far as I'm concerned.
We'll even have like LS swap stuff or K-Series swap stuff for an FRS or 350Z where it literally plugs and plays into CAN bus and everything works.
What he did, which is genius, was he used to make them like chassis specific and they would take a little time. Now he makes everything universal and then he makes an interface cable. So what'll happen is like the harness is for a non-VVTi JZ. And then he just needs to make an interface cable for every chassis, E36, 240, whatever the you want. He makes that interface cable, which is however long they decide based off the car. Plug it into the harness and your gauges, your key works, like everything works. And all he has to do is make one harness, which... Or if you actually want it like fully universal, he just puts a... Flying leads with like a switch panel or like a little fuse box that you just hook your own wires up to. Now he's starting to make chassis harnesses for the S chassis, which I think they've needed for so long. How many like hacked up chassis harnesses, especially when they like get cut by the wheel or some idiot rips them out. Yeah, or drift cars or anything. Because especially a drift car, there's so much wiring. I made my own chassis harness in my S14, but I have like switch panels. How long did it take you? It wasn't too long, but you would have much rather buy one from Wiring Specialties. Like if I could have just bought one and plugged it in and everything would have worked beautiful together, I would have. Yeah, they're the best. You wouldn't see half of the cool swap cars you see, not even half. You wouldn't see a tenth, in my opinion, because anyone can take a motor out, put a motor in. Yep. No one can wire. No one. You need wiring diagrams from both cars, and I can imagine. I can wire stuff. We wired my S14, but it took me a long time to do it. But like when I did the 1JZ with Adam, like literally that we overnighted a Wiring Specialties harness, plugged it in, and it fired up first try. It's so sick. He makes me not need to learn things, and I appreciate that. And that's why they're in business. Oh yeah. Hi guys, so we're over here at Wiring Specialties. So I was initially going to just buy one of their OEM series harnesses where it essentially just plugs into the plug and play adapter that I have with the ECU Master. But I was actually talking to Earl here and he's like, well, I don't know why you do that when we have the Pro Series harness, which is already pinned for the ECU Master. This is RB
RB series harness. So it's essentially ready for RB26 or RB25. You just have to pull a couple wires back for like the VVT and change injector. Not really anything with the injectors, right?
So it depends on what injectors you're running. This is made with ID1000s, but we can put any injector type. A couple things change for different RB series, but the main structure of the harness is there. It's a very quick, easy thing for us to get out the door. It's pinned for oil pressure, fuel pressure, wideband O2, boost control, pretty much any type of aftermarket sensor you'd want on the engine.
This is gonna save me a lot of time because I was gonna do wideband, IAT, oil pressure, fuel pressure, and then boost control on mine with that other harness. This just saves me a ton of time. I should be picking this thing up on Monday and should be pretty much a plug and play thing into my GTR, get me going for hopefully grid life. Pretty much starts on Thursday. So we have a lot of work to do on the GTR. So we're gonna get back over to the shop. I gotta get the bay painted. It's cool to stop over here locally in Connecticut and check out this harness. Basically end up with a better harness because they have the OEM style in stock, but they had this one in stock. Just a few changes, we'll be on the road.
AC works good, huh?
Nice golf. Nice golf we're ripping in.
Wanted to trade WTT R35 GTR.
You wouldn't trade for my R35.
No, sir.
Mine is
absolutely.
It's got a couple miles. It's got
some
rock
branding.
Yeah, a little rebuild from salvage title. You know, like a couple little things that Tommy doesn't like. Step on it. Give it a little smush.
Oh, I thought you meant step on this. Okay.
This thing's sick.
It's cool,
You
right?
never expected golf to
Dude,
like.
so built motor and a turbo, which like I'm not gonna like play it off like that's small, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, but built motor and turbo, 10 grand into a motor, whatever. Let's say another 10 into the turbo. I mean, the car's expensive. I mean, you can do the same thing with an RS3. You know, you have a 9-second car. If you want to just do a built motor and a turbo, from where this is at right now, 9-second sleeper.
Yeah.
Who would think this little Golf? I take the R badges off. Imagine put a 1.8 or base
118
model.
GTI.
Yeah, take the bumpers off, whatever makes it look a little bit more
Or you
aggressive.
could do about 20 grand in a Civic and you'll run nines.
Yeah, but like this?
Oh yeah.
Will you run it like this? Because it feels exactly like this. When
Yeah.
you're not running that. The Civic, you're like this. At 60 miles an hour, 50 miles an
I mean,
hour.
this is like a real car.
This is a real car. I can put my kids in the back. I could throw the keys to Anna if this was running 9s, and as long as she didn't push the skinny pedal too hard, be good to go. I mean, you can probably hit 8s if you play your cards right. You change the clutches in the transmission,
Yeah.
all that, but you want to run 8s, and with AC on, I'll sell you this, cheapsies.
Cheap.
Cheapsies.
For sale.
To you.
Yep. All right, so just got back from wiring specialties, and now we need to start working on this thing. Since I kind of was messing around with Tommy this morning, wasting a little bit of time, we actually got here a little bit earlier. I was trying to get this engine pulled before we finish up some other stuff on the other side of the shop. So I asked Tommy, I was like, hey, can I borrow one of your techs? So he's got Clinton right here. He's you just recently started here, right?
In April.
April? Oh, so it's been a while then. So he's been here. He actually pulled an engine over here yesterday and took him, what, like two and a half hours? Yeah. Somewhere in there. On Peter's car, which is one of the painters over here, he's also helping me out a little bit. Oh! Hey, thanks for your tech.
My text.
Your tech. Appreciate it,
Better
Tom.
get out that paper. What do you think of the new? Cut the collar a
The
little
new-
tighter because I hate when my collar gets stretched. They're an inch longer than a normal shirt. Pretty good, right?
It looks not doesn't look too bad.
It's like I beat your fucking ass, doesn't it? Look like I beat your fucking ass. You look scared, Trevor. Anyway, I'd be scared if I were you too. How long did it take you to get this out? With that single trash.
Well, the turbo actually has come out first.
But how long?
With this, maybe like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, that's what I was thinking.
Right,
I'm gonna give him a challenge, hour 20.
And we got to pull the diff because you took my diff out of the other car.
No diff, no drivetrain.
Yep.
Axles in it?
No, none. Gone. See, the Tommy screwed me
How
thumbnail
are we
thing
gonna make it a roll?
wasn't
Oh, just
aligned.
put-
How about you put on some gloves? We'll go ahead.
These hands?
Yep, those ones
I
right
would
there.
never touch this piece
So you've
of
only
shit.
built one GTR in your life. Your white one, right?
Well, technically 2, but yeah. Just that one was like everything except for the fabrication. Figured out a call. I overcame adversity there. A lot of problems. Figured it out. Dialed my process in one car. That's how efficient I am.
Yeah.
Only took one car to get perfection. But then I went down for stage 2, and that was many moons ago.
There it sits. There it
Because
sits.
I'm busy helping dumb like Rudnick, yourself, Adam's dad. Not that Adam's that dumb. Sorry, Joel. You know, I'm busy helping everyone with their shit.
We appreciate it. We're gonna get to work.
Hey, wait. What do I get to do with this turbo?
I don't know, throw it in the woods. Run it over.
We'll do something.
Do something crazy with it. Hey, how about we turbo the forklift with it?
Hey, let's put vegetables in it.
I did that once.
I know you did.
We could do it again.
Did you drink it?
Yeah.
If you didn't drink it,
I did. I drank it.
Was it good?
It was okay.
No.
Tastes just like a smoothie. It was a little warm.
This is an oil-filled smoothie.
Little warm. What's going on here?
Oh, I thought we were admiring my new shirt.
No.
Wait, are you sure?
No.
This is what happens when I pull out my camera. You start talking about some nonsense.
We did that
The
earlier.
engine's coming out. That's what.
When I was filming it.
You're giving me that Altia cap, right?
Nope.
I thought you said
I'll trade
so.
you something.
Okay, I'll trade you Clinton. Oh wait, you already have them.
Yeah. Thank you. Wasn't I supposed to be doing this?
Give me this. Pull that control arm out. Get to work. Oh wait, you got my painter painted, babe. What
He's
else?
He's not gonna. Well, maybe he'll paint it if he wants to paint it. Hey, you got a shout out on your giveaway?
Yeah.
We'll sell about 3 shirts for you.
3 shirts, thank you.
I didn't even get lunch.
You didn't even get lunch?
Yeah, Trevor's got your lunch. I told him, or dinner. You and your girlfriend and your dogs. He said he'd buy you some kibble.
My dog left.
For you, and the dogs get something else. Come on, it's out. How long would that have taken you?
About twice.
Yeah,
About twice of that. So I've spent the last 2 hours ordering parts while Clinton was over here getting the engine out of here. Previous owner messaged me on Instagram, said that this thing had a head gasket and head studs in it and that they did it in a parking lot. And we just pulled the valve cover real quick. It looks like it has a stock, like the wafer gasket, and it has stock head bolts in it. So obviously, I don't think this would be very much fun to do in a parking lot. Obviously it doesn't have a head gasket and head studs. So I think we need to order a gasket, ARPs, valve springs, retainers, cams, the slippery slope. Like, I don't know. I'll just go sit back down on the computer and order more parts. Ouch. Inside the engine looks good. All the cams, all the journals and stuff, they look nice. So continue pulling this thing off of the subframe so that way you can put the subframe back in it and make this thing a roller. Hey, what shifter is this?
C's.
What's that worth?
$300.
Okay, and the coil cap or the oil cap, $300. $600 value. We're doing great.
Transmission spray painted barbecue grill black, or is that dirt?
I think that's dirt. That's
the worst transmission I've ever seen.
So
no, that's barbecue spray paint. Oh my god!
I can't believe you did that with your fingernails. Okay. All right. Oh, look at that. Only a barely torn axle boot.
All right guys, so just picking up some stuff from the powder coating shop. We have a subframe, a couple of little bits and pieces that were powder coated, and then we have this stuff for the engine bay that was Cerakoted, I believe it's called. It gives us really cool texture on all the parts. We're picking it up from the powder coaters right now, getting ready to head back to the shop.
All right guys, so intake manifold is off, valve covers are off, and before I pull the cylinder head on this thing, Josh, which is Tommy's mechanic, he's been working with Tommy, what, a couple years now?
Yeah, 2 years, just over.
He could probably do this with his eyes closed because this is all he does all day is mess with these RBs and take them apart, reassemble them, do a bunch of stuff. I was getting ready to pull the cylinder head off and he's like, hey, you should probably do a leak down on that. The compression was pretty good. It was like 145, 150 across the board. But what's pretty much the difference between the relative compression and the leak down test that we're gonna do?
So the relative is the what, the leak down is the why. So ideally, I mean, that is okay, but you want to shoot for higher numbers, and generally these always leak from the exhaust side as the exhaust valve seats or PCV. Basically, you want to get as much of an idea of what your engine health is before you tear the engine apart. So this is the best way to do it. You just go by firing order. So this is 1, and then cylinder 5, you can see as you rotate it, will come right in line. 3, 6, 2, 4, and you just go in a line.
There's buckets, so as it goes around, it pushes down, so you keep them up so that it's on the round side.
This is our gauge. So this is the air that we let in, and this is the air that remains. So basically, we'll go to 100 PSI. Perfect ideal world, which is unlikely, is you want 100 on the other side. If you show 90, then that means you have a 10% leak. Ideally, you want to be between 80 and 100. That would be like a safe range to run. 90 and above for me. Let's see what we get here.
You can hear it.
Start hearing a little hiss. Can you hear it?
Yeah, a little bit.
So it's at 100.
That's ring. No exhaust.
It's at 87.
No intake. That's all PCV.
So that's perfect. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so you have 12% leak. Not bad.
Which is good. Loose for boost.
You want to go for number 5?
Yeah, let's see it. So cylinder number 5.
That's better.
That's beautiful. Look at
So
that.
let's see.
91.
Faint out of the 5 exhaust. Can you feel that?
Oh yeah. It's like a very,
very faint.
slight.
That's usually worse. And then obviously you can feel the air back here and hear it. You really don't want more than 5 really
5%?
between. If you have like 10 or more off, then it'll be an actual misfire that you won't be able to chase, which these all misfire, but when we're done, it won't misfire.
Cylinder number 3. Let's crank this guy up.
Pretty 1-to-1 so far. Then it starts to divvy always about that point. That's pretty good, man. Better than what I thought it was gonna be.
Cylinder number 6.
That's fucking sick. That's perfect, dude. That's like a 1-to-1. That's like
good.
2% loss, really. That's only range.
And it's on number 6, which is typically not a good one.
5 and 3 are the ones that fail. They're always worse for me. I don't know why. It's not like a thing that's true, like a true science. It's just I've done so many of these that that's just what I see.
Cylinder number 2.
Damn, dude.
Nice. Compressor's running out, but you can still do the math from there. That's great. I thought it was gonna be like 20%, 15, 20% out of every exhaust part, just by the way that it's presented. But sometimes like the worst looking engines, and I get them like swap engines, they're always the best transformation. All right, number 4. The final one. That's really good.
It's like
I'm pushing like the engine from turning over right now.
3%. 3 PSI difference. Means we're good.
Yep, means you don't have to do a valve job. Your only concern now at this point would be stem seals.
Valve stem seals.
But if you're not tearing the head apart, and it wasn't like smoking horrendously due to fuel, which confuses you with oil, the colors aren't really that different.
Well, so when I first got this thing, the turbo was clocked so terrible. The oil feed was 90 degrees in the side, and the oil drain went like it was pinched and went up. So as soon as we started it the first time, which I knew it was gonna do that because I seen it, it was like a geyser out of the exhaust housing.
So currently it's pulling off the water pump pulley. We're getting down to the timing belt area so we can actually get the head off. So I have a tool that I made, which is a power steering, or no, sorry, not power steering, a steering wheel puller. I've actually cut in half, so you can use it in a car or out of a car. And hardware that threads into this crank pulley, and that will actually pull it off of the crank snout. And you have to do that on every, you can't just remove these.
Yeah.
Kind of annoying, but it's a necessary step.
So just blast through this thing. Come on.
Boom.
Done.
Just like that.
Sick. Slightly tap on the edges, see your dowel. You want to just kind of wiggle it off the dowel because it rusted to the end of those cams.
Oh, there's some sack, buddy.
Boom, there you go. See, they get stuck right on the tips and that every time.
I didn't know how much sack to give it. I was scared. I seen a video on the internet where these camshafts just break in half.
Oh, by some idiot.
You look at them and they just break in half.
Not this way.
I know, I'm just gonna
You don't want to stand on this side?
Yeah.
Boom. Crazy how much these actually relax. Nice.
It's really nice having Josh here, just since he actually stayed pretty late because it's actually 10 o'clock right now, and they typically get off at 6. So he was doing some stuff a little bit after hours, and he kind of came to check in on us, and that's right when I was getting ready to pull off, basically as I was pulling off the intake manifold, and then I just started asking him questions, and he started telling me his secrets, and then I think he just couldn't help but help us out, which really helped us out in all this stuff, because, you know, I would have probably worked a little bit slower. He had the right tool for the head bolts. You know, I don't know if I would have done the leak down test or anything. Pretty stoked on that. We learned a lot about the cylinder head, that it's actually in good shape, so should be able to just head gasket, head studs, clean off the block, all the mating surfaces, clean up up the oil pan. We have a new oil pump gear going in it. We have a new water pump, front rear main seal, fresh gaskets all around. But we gotta wait for those things to ship and actually get here. Well, actually, I think Tommy has a bunch of that stuff actually in stock, which is nice. I just basically ordered all the stuff today to replace it. So we're gonna go back to the hotel, get a little bit of shut-eye, and come back here tomorrow with you know, a little bit of freshness to us, not so tired, and finish getting this thing all apart. This is the next day after we took everything out of, basically we disassembled the engine. So now we got the subframe back in the car, pretty much ready to roll out of here, but I am actually switching to these headlights right here. So these are the N1 style. The non-N1 headlights have a projector in them, whereas the N1 styles, or the GTST style headlights, if you're familiar with Silvias, they look more like bricks. And I think they look a little bit more aggressive just because of the way the housing and everything is. And I think they look pretty cool. So what we're gonna do is take these ones out of here, and we're gonna put the ones from my other car into here, which has the projector. I haven't decided what to do with this. Do we bring it back to Colorado? We sell it up here as a shell? Haven't figured it out. Leave it in the comments. I haven't decided yet, but I'm just gonna push this thing outside and then bring in the white one. We pushed the red R32 out here, pushed it out to pasture. I don't know if this is gonna be its resting spot, or like we part ways, or we sell it, or maybe we bring it back to Colorado. Haven't decided yet, but it's outside for now. We can still come out here, pull some parts and pieces. There's still plenty of stuff in the engine bay that I need to take off, like let's say that back mat, like that little piece of trim, maybe some little grommets, little hoses, pieces of wiring, stuff like that. But for now, it's outside. Over here on the inside of the shop, I'm kind of gathering parts and pieces. And this is another one of the reasons why I wanted to come here to Tommy's shop, is because he has a bunch of nuts and bolts that are all zinc plated. So we're essentially just gonna trade my bolts for his bolts. And then he has the dry ice blaster, which basically takes anything that's like dirty, greasy, grimy, and it takes all of the grease off of it without chemically stripping it or mechanically stripping it, because it's mechanically just removing all of the stuff and like putting it somewhere else, and the only thing that is left over is it just gets cold. Stoked on that. We also need to paint the front booster, like the brake booster, clean up all these lines, clean up this thing, get that thing basically ready to spray. So we're gonna throw this on a pallet and try to get everything ready to go back in the bay of the white car in preparation for the engine once we get that done. All right, so 2 seconds later, we're out here in the sun pulling pieces off of it. The booster on this one was not rusty. The other one was kind of rusty and kind of gross. So taking this one, and then we're gonna take this booster, because the other one, this master was leaking, and is basically the whole booster was full of brake fluid on the inside of it, and it was getting ready to rust some more. We need to pull off this mat. We need to pull some things off. Guys, so we have the cylinder head off of the engine, and initially I thought I was just gonna sand this thing or like remove the gasket, which I essentially already did. I got it cleaned up, and basically what I did is these are painter sticks, so I taped 4 of them together, got a nice flat surface, and then 400 grit just to kind of get that gasket material off. It's not really doing anything to the cylinder head because I'm not sitting there forever, but basically just getting it down to where the gasket material is gone. That's what I was gonna do, and then we started talking, and then Grant came over, and there's a guy up here that literally did his heads overnight, and he picked him up, and he's gonna put his head back on his drift car. And so we kind of decided we're just gonna have the head decked and cleaned, so that way we kind of start fresh. There's some other stuff that we could do on the engine and stuff that we're kind of waiting for tomorrow to show up. Get this cylinder head off, drop it off with him tonight, pick it up in the morning, and then we will have a fresh cylinder head ready for ripping, I guess. So before we send this thing to the machine shop, we need to get it disassembled. So valve covers off of it, cam caps and camshafts out of it, and then we're just gonna send it to them. We need to pull out the buckets and the shims, and then he's gonna do everything else. So we should be good, I hope. Cylinder head is completely disassembled. Well, as disassembled as we're gonna take it. Camshafts out. I basically have intake, exhaust, and the front of the engine labeled. All of the cam caps are actually labeled like I1, I2, I3, so intake 1. We have the buckets and the shims that go below them, so those are basically in line. So as long as nothing happens to that right there, we should be good to assemble this thing. Basically, he's just gonna clean the head and deck the head and give it back to us.
Good morning, guys. We are at the machine shop picking up the head for the block. We're gonna go see what this place looks like, see how the head looks. So guys, this is JP. He runs this machine shop here and does all the work. As you guys can see, he does phenomenal work on the head. And we're just gonna pick it up from him, throw it on the car, get the rest of it figured out. So we appreciate you overnighting this, man. It's awesome.
Thank you for coming through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything to help you guys, like I said. We've got the whole machine shop to ourselves, and all my friends have cars, so whenever somebody needs something last minute, especially for grid life. Brand just came by yesterday too for
yeah.
done, so.
That's how we heard about you. So
yeah.
But cool, you do great work, man, and
Absolutely, man.
we're super excited.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so the head is in the truck. We are headed back to the shop. Looks nice and refreshed. We got the RTV, the copper spray, and I also picked up some WD-40 because I think I remember one of the guys saying that we needed that. I am so excited to get this car done. It has been a long time coming, and I'm super pumped on how much you guys are enjoying the content. It shows in the views, it shows in the shares, it shows in the likes of the video. We really appreciate you guys. We'll see you back at the shop.
All right, guys, so we're over here at Wiring Specialties. Got the harness all ready to go, all boxed up.
Yes, sir.
So Brian, he's the guy who kind of put this harness together for me.
A little bit of a care package with a couple decals. What you have here is your pinout. This is going to have your aux connector, which we'll point out to you. This is basically your inputs and outputs and any free ones that are available. And then your ECU pinout as well, so you know how to make basically your designation on your ECU pinout. This is all modular. So basically the chassis connects to any of our harnesses. So you could basically just mix and match any chassis with any of our engine harnesses.
So this is basically where everything is going to plug into the R32.
Exactly.
And then the Attesa stuff, where is that? Is that
So the
in
Attesa
this?
pump comes right off of here on the interface. Oh, sorry, right here.
Okay, cool.
Everything is labeled.
And this was all the stuff you pretty much had to go back through and just add the wiring for the Attesa just because it is a GTR instead of like a 240 or
Correct,
something.
exactly. This is your TPS. You have both options depending on which TPS you're actually using. So it's just a plug and play with a Deutsch. Let's roll this out a little bit here. You have your 5-point grounding kit and your fuse box power cable as well.
Nice.
Yep. Integrated wideband sensor direct to the ECU through the harness. Your IAT because you have the integrated map.
Yep.
Flex fuel sensor. You have your pressure sensors, which are also part of our standalone aftermarket ECU. So,
Oil pressure, fuel pressure.
Exactly, flex fuel, all that stuff. So yeah, it's just a nice package, makes it nice and clean, and it's all plug and play.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I said, I've worked with Wiring Specialties quite a bit before, and a lot of my other swaps, and like in my Supra, this was amazing because that car literally had nothing in the engine bay, and we did the standalone harness with like the fuse box and all that stuff.
Yep.
So it made it really nice to put that actually in there and then basically tuck everything, hide everything. Then we got a nice professional harness, and it literally started first shot. So
Plug and play, man, that's it.
got a lot of work to do on the R32, so we're gonna get back to the shop. Again, huge shout out to Wiring Specialties for getting this thing done so fast. And I still have a discount code with you guys. I think it's like 10% or something.
Yeah, I believe so.
And I'm pretty sure it's MotionAuto or MotionAuto TV, but I'll put all that info in the description. If you guys are interested in picking up a harness for yourself, seriously recommend these guys. And the crazy thing is how many options they actually have on their website. So if you just go to their website, just look and see like, okay, I have a Nissan with like a K-Series or a Honda or an FRS with a CAN bus, and I want to put a Gen 5 LT motor, or I think you guys are close on those.
Yeah, we actually do have them.
Yeah.
They actually are now available on the shelf, the LT package. Yep.
Really crazy, and yeah, without these guys, there would definitely not be as many cars swapped as successfully as they are. So yeah, let's get back to the shop. So cylinder head is back from the machine shop. Looks a lot better, a lot cleaner, and look at that decking surface. Like, look at that, like brand new. I'm really glad that we actually did this. JP, the guy up here, he got us in last night. We literally dropped it off at like, or Charles dropped it off last night at like 6 o'clock, and it was done by 10. He did put some ink on it, and the back part of the cylinder head actually had a little low spot in it. So I'm really glad that we decided to do this instead of just kind of sending it with the other way, especially going with the MLS gasket. So we have some copper spray, we have the MLS gasket, we have the head studs, and pretty much everything to go, ready to go on the engine. So once this thing is assembled, go ahead and put this thing on there. Cylinder head is all done, ready to go. Got everything lubed up. Pretty much ready to set on the engine. As you guys seen in the time lapse, Clinton here, he put in some good work last night while we were basically messing with the other engine thing. The whole front end pretty much ready to go. Painted the headlights on the top, got those things ready to go. These are the N1 style headlights or GTST headlights. Like they just look more aggressive. It's more like a S chassis, like brick type of thing. Bumpers on, grills on, fenders are on, the wiring's on, everything's, oh, the intercooler. I bought an intercooler from Tommy. So we have a 4-inch Grady intercooler, which I'm pretty stoked you put that on, because now we gotta stick the engine in this thing. So we're gonna do, well, we have a couple more things to do to it, but we're gonna go ahead and get this thing on the dolly, down off of the lift, and push it to my side of the shop, get to work.
Oh, you got a welding mask from Amazon? Congratulations, you're gonna go blind. This is the influencer shit we were just talking about. This thing sucks.
Look at the flames.
Oh, hell yeah. It's like a dude with like, you know, that looks like a guy kind of a little bit before these. The shoulders and like the collarbone muscles are definitely from like a man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a man with like breasts.
That's wild.
That's definitely like man, like muscle, all the with a bicep and everything.
Yeah, the biceps are huge.
Look at the neck, the into the collarbone, and then just breasts on there. There's like just
put them on there. It's like Dragon Ball Z with boobies.
Dude, this is wild. Where'd you get this?
Amazon. It was like 30. It was the cheapest one I could find, but you could pick what one you got. And I seen that it had the flames and the boobies on there, and I said that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. The man with the breasts. Give me the man with the breasts on fire. That's so funny. That's a dude's like everything. I just can't get over it. Even the hands. Those are man hands. Look at the hands. Those are large. Motherfucker can palm a basketball.
That's it, right
This
there.
is 2022 in a fucking welding mask.
So I ordered some stuff off with Amazon so we can weld some stuff here. So we ordered a bunch of things right here, a bunch of collets and things like that. We got some welding gloves. They have a welder. They didn't have the consumables. They didn't have a helmet. So I ordered one. That's what we got.
I hope you go blind from that fucking thing. You tell your kids like, oh, what's wrong? What happened to his eyes again? Hey, he bought a welding mask off Amazon with a man with breasts on fire.
All right guys, so as you can see, we've made a ton of progress right here on the engine. Josh set me up this morning with basically a full zinc kit on like all the nuts and bolts and where they go. And we've just been going hard all day trying to get this thing assembled. I kind of just forgot to film a lot of the process just because I've been going back and forth, asking a lot of questions, just trying to figure this thing out. So as you can see in my hand, this is my old intake manifold. These are the throttle bodies. So with the RB26, you have individual throttle bodies. On like a 2JZ or something like that, you have a single throttle body right in the front, a single thing going to a single plenum. Right here, we have the plenum going into individual throttle bodies. Helps a lot with throttle response. These things were awesome when they were brand new, but now that they're over 30 years old, or almost over 30, I think they're over 30 years old now, they're worn, they leak, they don't idle very good, and they're kind of finicky. They're kind of weird if you like try to balance them and adjust them. So the best thing that you could do for one of these engines, especially when you're doing something like this, is go with this kit right here. So we're actually working with Remade in USA on this build. They're pretty local to us. They couldn't get us a set done in time, but Tommy had a couple of core sets just sitting over there on the shelf ready to go. So we stole one of those things from him. We have a vapor blasted intake plenum right here, and then the full Remade thing with all of the brand new zinc and all that stuff. He does the zinc as well himself, and they pretty much just come just like this, which is absolutely insane. And you can tell how nice that this thing looks. That leads us into our next thing, which is we are working with Ditchworks on this. You guys know that we gotta have the Ditchworks on the build. We have a set of their 6,000 cc injectors. So we're gonna go ahead and get those injectors installed in the factory fuel rail right there. OEM fuel lines, all that stuff. We got some new lines right here. This thing is gonna look insane. So it's pretty much 6 o'clock, time for the guys to kind of shut down over there on all the customer cars. And I've been trying to convince them all day to come over here and help, or at least stay a couple hours to help me kind of finish dialing this thing in. We decided to do the twin turbos, as you guys know. We've been kind of getting this side of the head ready to go. We have a PRP titanium exhaust stud kit. We have HKS manifolds, and then actually over there on the table, Josh is getting set up a full HKS GTSS twin turbo setup, which is what Tommy wanted me to do from the beginning. And I fought him. I wanted to do the single turbo aftermarket manifold, and you know, some stuff didn't get here in time. We're at FYeah spec. I think we got to do it the FYeah way to at least see what it's like. Maybe we could change this thing later. I'm stoked to get this thing basically all ready to go. So I think we're gonna bring the turbos over now, get them installed on this thing. The valve covers are pretty much ready to go. We're gonna be ready to rip. So we're almost there. Also, been working on the subframe over here. This is the one that we had sent out to the powder coating. Initially, like, I wasn't gonna do this either, and then Tommy told me that I was basically an idiot. He said that you're fucking stupid, is actually what he said. I was like, oh, I'll just pressure wash the end. He's like, you're fucking stupid, and he left. So then we dropped it off at the powder coater and got this thing powder coated, but man, I'm glad we did. Look at that. It freaking literally looks brand new. So brand new engine looking, brand new transmission looking, brand new everything in there. Let's go.
This thing came out good, man.
Not bad.
Yeah. I see you got our boys product on here, the little DW
little
injectors. Yeah.
Who else do we got in common?
I don't know, but Ditchworks, they're the best. I love them.
Look, you even got the hat. I don't even have a hat.
Oh yeah,
right
speaking of, I didn't even realize I was wearing that. No, this thing looks awesome. Awesome,
It's
awesome,
insane,
awesome.
huh?
Yeah, I like the studs, exhaust studs.
PRP.
Yep,
PRP
love
units.
that.
What do you think of the twins? Are you a twin guy? Are you a little?
I was never a twin guy until I rode in a twin car, and then I said, okay, I see it. I understand why people do twins.
I rode in Tommy's car and it was good, and I still wanted to fight it. Like, I just wanted to fight the twins, but it's gonna look so sick though. Like,
to be honest, like the twins on an RB, I don't think you can get better. I mean, I'm sure you can, but like twins on a JZ, it needs a JZ needs a single.
oh yeah.
Came out really good. Has been busting butt, huh?
Yep.
The ITBs, the best, literally the best.
Yeah, Ian freaking kills it with those.
Yeah.
Like, what would I do? Like, imagine you did this whole engine, which I was gonna try to do it. Like, try to do it cheap.
Yeah, well,
like
that's what I was saying to you yesterday or the day before. It's like, you would do all this, you go, I don't need to do the ITBs, and that would be the only thing that went wrong. They'd be leaking air, they wouldn't be synced, like, just be a nightmare.
It wouldn't be fun. Tommy, what do you think? How are we doing? How are we doing over here?
Can I talk shit?
Go ahead, fucking go ahead.
Color match. I can't get over it. I can't get over this.
You don't like the color match.
It's not much of a match.
So what do you like better, the Amazon welding helmet or the color match?
Dude, did you still granite?
Yeah.
I saw. That's a man. The bone structure of a man. Did that ever go in a video?
Yeah, it's in this video.
Oh.
So we have a new zinc plate for the back. Flywheel, we got a brand new competition clutch from Tommy because we had.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
You're taking that, right? Yeah. Guaranteed. Jacob.
Let me
There's
make sure it
nothing
fits.
wrong. It fits.
Let
If
me-
it fits.
Let me make sure it fits.
If it fits.
Why? What are you doing?
I gotta tell you something, but you gotta shake
What does
it.
this mean?
Yeah, this is like a shake, but you're dirty. Okay. That was Rudnick's. He was gonna go manual in that nitrous RB20 car, so he bought the worst clutch he could find, and then I bought that car from him, and I've been carrying this around for 4 years.
5 years. Yeah.
So this is a 26 clutch?
Yeah.
My spec clutch, you don't like spec clutches?
That thing's junk. Is it the blue one?
Yeah. It didn't look bad, but it
didn't look bad to Trevor.
No, it looks like it was good. It looked like the pads were good. It was even wear. Like it looked,
Which one looks better?
good. This one's new. So that's what we're doing. We're putting a new
Imagine
one on
putting a used clutch in the car.
there. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
it'd be great. Making some progress on this thing.
So yeah, he's making some progress. I'm sure he said that in the beginning of every clip he started since this whole thing went down.
Tommy thinks I need to spend my time a little bit wiser, but today we've got a lot of things done today. So
Yeah, you were a real wizard today getting all this stuff.
like Josh helped us get all this stuff set up. Clinton has been freaking helping me doing all the other things.
Clinton's here fucking late.
Yeah, it's almost 10.
You gotta buy him expensive dinner.
I've been feeding water in him every day.
You gotta get him an expensive dinner from Lucia, him and his girlfriend.
Yeah, what do you guys want from Lucia? You and your girlfriend, buy a nice
Chicken
dinner.
parm.
All right,
Chicken
we got
parm.
some things to
I
do.
recommend the chicken parm.
All right, good night, Tommy.
No, I'm staying.
All right. All right, guys, that is an RB26. It is in the car. Grant, what do you think?
Looks great.
Did we do a good job?
Good enough. No,
great.
I'm kidding. You did a good job. This is a lot. This is a lot to undertake.
It's been a crazy day. So if you guys have not got entered for a chance to win our 350Z, you have to become a VIP member. Grant has a 350Z. What do you think of it?
I love them.
They're fun, right?
It's the best cheap car you can get.
They're
You can't,
phenomenal.
like, you literally can't get a better car. Like, I'm a BMW person. I like E36s, but like the Z's blow E36s out of the water.
They're just such good universal cars. Like it's a drift car, it's a track car. You could daily
you
drive
do
it.
whatever you want with it.
With the
Yep.
AC on, and literally it has a good engine, it has a good transmission, it has a good diff. Every part on the internet you could literally buy. And you could win that thing if you become one of our VIP members, VIP only giveaway. Link in the description. Sean has actually been back at the shop while we're here working on this thing, getting that thing ready to paint. And we're putting a poll in our private Facebook group where you could go and vote on what color we're gonna paint this thing. We're deciding if we're gonna set up for drift or road course or whatever, but painted 350Z, wheels, tires, suspension, shipped to your door. Become a VIP at MotionAutoTV.com. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Like the video if you like this collab with me and Tommy. Are we gonna make it to Grid Life?
I hope so. I know I am. I want to see if you can too.
We'll find out in the next episode of Motion Auto TV. See you then.